In today's video, I'm talking about how to use movement to heal your body. I'm going to talk about 5 amazing benefits of movement and the difference between movement and exercise. Now, when I think about movement, I just think about moving our body, like going out and taking a walk. Exercise is going to be something that is intense, that really challenges our body, whether it's resistance training or whether it's doing intervals, something that's getting us up into a state of oxygen debt where we don't have enough oxygen to be able to produce the energy within our cells from an aerobic standpoint. So we go into a state of oxygen debt where when we're finished with that bout of exercise, that intense bout, we start breathing heavy and deep to regain that oxygen. So movement is not that. Movement is very low intensity and oftentimes very low impact types of ways of moving our body. And so it could be dancing, could be walking, could be a wide variety of things. But research has shown that movement activates these protein signaling agents called myokines. And the myokines have been shown to reduce the activity or to shut down the activity of the inflammatory amplifier, nuclear factor kappa beta within the cells. And so it shuts down this inflammatory activating system in our body. It's extremely beneficial. One of the worst things people do when they feel chronically inflamed, when they're tired, when they have joint pain, is stop moving altogether. And a lot of people do this. They live a sedentary lifestyle. They're just not moving. We have to move to bring down inflammation in the body. On top of that, movement also helps improve circulation and oxygenation into the deep tissues of our body. So it helps bring oxygenated blood into the deep regions, and that helps pull waste products from the cells and also helps the cells produce more energy. So we need that circulation, we need that oxygenation. It also helps to drain the lymphatics. Our lymphatic system is our second circulatory system. That's what pulls metabolic waste and brings it to the liver, right? To the heart, to the liver. And that's where our body is now able to detoxify and get rid of it, right? Whether it's in the stool, the feces, whether it's breathing it out, whether it's sweating it out, we've got to get that metabolic waste out. And the only way we move our lymphatic system is through muscle activity. So the muscles themselves actually have to pump the lymphatic vessels to get the fluid and the waste up and into circulation where it can be removed properly. So movement is so key for that. On top of that, we know that movement actually helps stimulate feel-good neurotransmitters, things like dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, that help us think sharper and quicker. It also helps activate something called acetylcholine in our brain, which helps us think sharply and quickly. It also helps us, serotonin and dopamine help us feel good, right? So it helps improve our mood and our overall level of happiness. So what's better than that, right? We're getting all this circulation benefits, deep tissue oxygenation, detoxification, but we feel good when we're doing it. In fact, research has shown that just going out and taking a walk, right? Taking a 1 to 2 mile walk has been shown to beat antidepressants head to head when it comes to improving depression. It also can reduce anxiety in our body. It can help bring down blood pressure and just so many great physiological benefits. So it's definitely something we want to be doing on a regular basis. It also reduces stress and tension. If you feel really stressed, go out and take a walk. It's one of the best things you can do to relieve stress and tension in your body. So how much movement should we get? Well, it's going to depend on the individual. So if you're very, very sedentary, if you're very inflamed, if you've got a lot of joint pain, if you have osteoarthritis, it might just be walking to your mailbox, right? It might just be something really, really small. Let's say you are 200 pounds overweight. Start somewhere, walk to your mailbox, just go out and do something. Okay, now for most people, it's going to be going out and walking, let's say 1, 2, 3 miles right at a time. And I recommend doing something where you're going out and walking for, let's say 10 to 20 minutes, 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. I recommend getting 30 to 60 minutes of this sort of low intensity activity in every single day. That's really the sweet spot. Our ancestors were walking around 5 to 8 miles a day. So doing roughly about 10,000 steps or roughly about 60 minutes of low intensity activity is equivalent to about 5 miles of walking, right? So 5 miles of movement. And that is a really great sweet spot for most people if you're coming in with joints that can move, you're not in massive pain, and you're able to do it. You're not 300 pounds overweight, Okay, so if you're very overweight, just get moving, right? If you're very inflamed, just get moving, just doing a little bit at a time and gradually progress. Otherwise, what your goal should be is, as long as you're comfortable, right, is getting roughly around 60 minutes of low intensity movement a day, not all in one bout. I recommend doing that in 2 or 3 bouts. So maybe in the morning, midday, and in the evening. That would be a great approach to doing it. If one of those times, let's say you got to work early in the day, or you've got to work late, or work during the middle of the day, then just do it in the morning and the evening, right? So schedule it around your schedule. But if you can do it 3 times a day, that is best. 10 to 20 minutes each time. And that's going to be your ideal scenario. So that's what we want to do. Now, let's add in a little bit of exercise. Let's do some, let's say, resistance training, right? Some weightlifting. I recommend doing that 3 times a week, right? You could do it more. You could do it, let's say, 5 or 6 times a week. But when you're first getting started, 3 times a week is good. Give yourself at least 48 hours of rest between each new strength training set, right? So each period of time that you're exercising, you're training, give yourself basically 2 days rest. So like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, it's a really good idea. And you can alternate between upper body exercises and lower body. I think that's a really good approach. And so upper body, you would do push and pull exercises where you're pushing, you're pulling, right? And you're going back and forth between pushing and pulling. Lower body, you're doing things like squats, deadlifts. And even if you feel like, wow, it's gonna be really hard for me to do a squat, just do a body weight squat. Do a half squat, right? Do a wall squat, right? Where the wall's helping to condition you. It's helping to basically keep you from falling over. If you don't feel like, if you don't have access to a gym or weights, you could even just do push-ups, for example, off of a wall. You can just kind of bend into the wall and do push-ups. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get this sort of exercise in, this sort of strength training, but it's one of the most powerful ways of increasing this myokine release, bringing down inflammation, and also at the same time, creating more muscular strength, muscular endurance, better circulation into the muscles, better waste removal. It's one of the very best things you can do to help your body heal. So again, trying to get somewhere around 30 to 60 minutes of low intensity movement every day, and then 3 days a week at a minimum, let's say, trying to get roughly about 20 minutes of resistance training in. You really don't need much more than that, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, 3 days a week. I think that's a perfect amount to get, a baseline level of fitness. If you feel great and you want to do more, you can. Always watch out for signs of overtraining. If you're feeling really fatigued, not sleeping well, overstressed, you feel like you're actually losing muscle tissue, those could all be signs that you're overtraining, so be careful, watch out for that. Other than that, if you stick to what I just talked about, that should really help your body heal, bring down inflammation, and really help improve your overall level of fitness as well, and give you more energy, better mental clarity, better mood, so you can really thrive in life. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you guys in a future video training. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my channel, browse the various videos that I've done on similar topics, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video training. Thanks so much for being a part of our community here, and I really hope you enjoy the videos that we're putting out on a regular basis. Be blessed.